Many people have been led to believe that, although the Bible is full of interesting stories, its history is mythological and made up, with no archaeological support. This series is dedicated to those who need help dislodging that dubious claim. Today I want to talk about the Assyrian King Sennacherib, who ruled from 705 BC to 681. And we're going to start in 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 13 through 15. And in the 14th year of King Hezekiah, Sennacherib king of Assyria came up against all the fortified cities of Judah and took them. Then Hezekiah king of Judah sent to the king of Assyria at Lachish, saying, I have done wrong. Turn away from me. Whatever you impose on me I will pay. And the king of Assyria assessed Hezekiah king of Judah 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. And Hezekiah gave him all the silver that was found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasuries of the king's house. So excavations in Nineveh revealed the palace of Sennacherib, named the Palace Without Rival. And in 1847, Sennacherib's palace was discovered by diplomat Austin Henry Layard. In this 70-room structure, there was what appeared to be a waiting room for those attempting to see the king. This room was floor-to-ceiling covered with a giant relief of exactly one scene in history: Sennacherib's defeat of the city of Lachish, one of the fortified cities of Judah. The fact that Sennacherib used this victory to intimidate his enemies demonstrates that Israel was a powerful nation in the 8th century, and that capturing Lachish was meaningful because of its size and power. This 8-foot by 80-foot room depiction is not the destruction of Jerusalem, which would be a bigger prize. Why was this not a relief of the destruction of Jerusalem? Because it didn't happen. The Bible agrees, saying that Hezekiah paid money and that Sennacherib went away. But apparently it wasn't originally going to be that easy. Sennacherib took the money, but still sieged Jerusalem. During the siege of Jerusalem, Hezekiah had to build a tunnel to let his people drink water. Discovered in 1837, this tunnel goes through 1,750 feet of solid rock to reach an underground water supply constructed to survive the siege under Sennacherib. More evidence supporting the Book of Kings account of the siege of Jerusalem comes from a cuneiform prism called the Taylor Prism, which was discovered in 1830 in Nineveh, Iraq. The prism mentions Sennacherib's campaign into Palestine in his 3rd year of reign, which links up with his interactions with Hezekiah of Judah from 2 Kings 18 and 19. It actually mentions Hezekiah by name. The prism says, Fear of my greatness terrified Hezekiah. He sent to me tribute, 30 talents of gold, 800 talents of silver, precious stones, ivory, and all sorts of gifts, including women from his palace. On the prism, Sennacherib boasts that he shut up Hezekiah the Judahite within Jerusalem, his own royal city, like a caged bird. So why didn't Jerusalem get captured? Many rebels against Assyria teamed up with others, especially Egypt, Hezekiah among them. Herodotus tells a strange story of the Assyrians' misfortune in battle against Egypt at the city of Pelusium, which would be northeast Egypt, nearby Lachish and Jerusalem. Herodotus writes that the Egyptian leader Sethos prayed to his god for help in defeating the massive Assyrian force, and that god sent into the Assyrian camp a swarm of field mice who gnawed through their quivers and their bows and the handles of their shields as well, so that the next day they were weaponless and all they could do is run away, and that their losses were heavy. Isaiah also cites a strange occurrence. This is what the Lord says concerning the king of Assyria: He will not enter this city or shoot an arrow here. He will not come before it with shield or build a siege ramp against it. By the way that he came, he will return. He will not enter this city, declares the Lord. I will defend this city and save it, for my sake and for the sake of David my servant. Then the angel of the Lord went out and put to death 185,000 in the Assyrian camp. When the people got up the next morning, there were all the dead bodies. So Sennacherib king of Assyria broke camp and withdrew. He returned to Nineveh and stayed there. One day while he was worshipping in the temple of his god Nisroch, his sons Adramelech and Sharezer killed him with the sword, and they escaped to the land of Ararat, and Esarhaddon his son succeeded him as king. So what we learned today is that the siege of Jerusalem and the attacks on the fortified cities of Judah by the Assyrian King Sennacherib, as described by the Bible, seem to be confirmed by all available evidence, from the destruction of Lachish to the siege of Jerusalem that did not end in its destruction, but did end in Hezekiah paying tribute. I hope this was interesting and encouraging to you. But remember, the question is not, can we prove everything in the Bible? The question rather should be, where there is archaeological evidence, does it in fact support biblical witness or not? Thank you for watching.